Yo, what's going on guys, DeWobs here, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Rocket League has just announced Season 15, and now we know all of the items and everything else that's coming in Season 15, the new Rocket Pass car, the new map, the new theme, and a few quality of life changes for the game as a whole. So let's not waste any more time and get into Season 15 of Rocket League, which is coming on June 5th. And this image right here shows a few of the cool items, and it turns out this is going to be a punk rock themed season. That's where you can see some of these cool decals on the Octane. You can see these spiky wheels. And as you can see, actually, that decal for the Octane is like this cool sketch effect. There's a guitar in the top, and there's a crowd at the bottom. I'm sure this is potentially animated. Looks pretty cool. There's an antenna here as well, with a skull and a spiky mohawk on there. We've got these spray paint wheels down here on this vehicle, and some interesting boosts, and of course, the Nissan Rocket Pass car. So, going down, it says that it's going to be a punk rock themed season, and the new map is going to be Salty Fest, a variant of Salty Shores, which just adds this festival here with a stage, and you can see these drummers on there, along with a skate park as well. You're going to see these guys skating around in the background, and lo and behold, they added grass to the pitch. There's still a small bit of sand in the middle, but it's majority grass. I mean, this is pretty expected. I think this is a pretty weak attempt at a new map, but you know what? It looks pretty cool. I think the background looks like a pretty nice sunset lighting. But yeah, that's the new version of Salty Shores. Now, as for the new car, it's the Nissan Fairlady Z, which is also known as the Datsun 240Z. We were spot on with our guess. It looks like this. This is the normal variant. You can see it's got the headlights up at the front, some pretty wide wheel arches there. Overall, looks pretty cool, and there is going to be two variants. At Tier 70, you'll be able to get the Nissan Fairlady Z RLE, which is this version on the right that you can see here, with some pretty mean-looking headlights and a spoiler at the back, and just a more slim and sleek build, a slightly lowered front bumper, and maybe even some neon lights underneath. Also, the Rocket Pass car will have a Dominus hitbox. Both of them will be Dominus hitbox, so that might be good for some of you. I think it's good that it is at least Dominus, but it might feel a little bit weird for those Octane mains. Now, before we get into the Rocket Pass items and the tournament awards, just quickly, there's a small update they've mentioned here. They're now making more LTMs available in the private matches and the offline exhibition matches and custom tournaments. You'll now be able to play the extra special mode, the GeForce Frenzy, and the Gridiron game mode in private matches, along with Beach Ball, Boomer Ball, Demolition, Drop Shot Rumble, Moon Ball, Pinball, Speed Demon, Spike Rush, and Super Cube will also be presets that you can play in the private matches, even when they're not in the rotation. They're also doing a small change to the chat. They're now adding timestamps to the in-game chat. So before each message, it will now show what time was on the in-game clock. So, you know, if you spam what a save, it will look like this. 3 minutes, what a save. 2:59, what a save. 2:58, what a save. Apparently, this is to give a little bit more context to your chats. I don't really know if this is that important. Maybe if you've not looked at the chat for a long time, then you look back. I guess it could be useful, but it's a tiny change. It's probably not going to affect many of you. Anyway, the Rocket Pass items, of course, these are what they're showcasing. There's probably a few more that we'll see when the update drops. But from tier 1 to 10, we have this stuff right here. I mean, some pretty basic wheels, a pretty crazy decal, which has all the little fruits on there. You've got the pineapple guy, the cherry, and a pretty standard Rocket Pass boost. In fact, before we look at the images, a few named items that they mentioned were the Mosher boost, the Rock On antenna, the Sharp Tongue antenna, the Punk boot topper, and the Punked wheels, along with a power chord goal explosion, and also a volume 11 goal explosion that will turn the pitch into a punk scene. So we'll keep an eye out for those. So from tier 11 to 20, we have these interesting wheels, which are wrapped in a belt. And then, of course, the Rocket Pass car with this decal on here, and a cool little punk rock antenna. Then from tier 21 to 30, we've got these spray paint wheels that we've already seen. We have this pretty basic black and white checkered decal, and then a punk boot topper, which was mentioned. Then tier 31 to 40, it looks like you'll get the RLE version. So it's not tier 70, it's actually going to be tier 35, where you get the upgraded Rocket Pass car. But you can see, it looks pretty cool. The exhaust pipe down by the side, and this really creepy punk tongue antenna that was mentioned. It looks like it is just going to be floating as well, and it might be animated. I think that's pretty creepy. Next up, we have, you know, some pretty standard wheels here. We've got this nice little topper of this guy sunbathing. Pretty standard decal. This might be animated, I'm not sure. And then a pretty standard standard trail to go with that boost we saw before. And then here we have tier 51 to 60. Pretty interesting. There's that decal again that we saw before. As you can see, this seems to be a different color. It has a nice gradient on that crowd there. I believe it will be animated. I hope so. It's sort of a paper notepad sort of background as well. You can see the blue lines. It looks like it really is just sketched onto some paper. I do like that effect. And then these wheels, I don't really know what's going on with these. They just look like little lights. I don't know. Maybe it's like a crowd in the dark all sharing their flashlights. I don't know. Then 61 to 70, you can see this is that volume 11 goal explosion, which turns the whole field into a punk festival, I guess. You've got this skull popping out, sort of a graffiti smiley face sticker. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's going to be that crazy though. And then you can see you have the special edition wheels. I think these are the wheels from here. This might be these wheels in special edition, maybe. Or maybe they're these wheels. I'm not sure. But these are special edition wheels. But they look like... Actually, these wheels look exactly like the Estrella prismatic wheels from Season 11. I'm not sure if they're slightly different or, you know, these are just the old Rocket Pass wheels. Maybe they're bringing them back. I don't know. They do look pretty nice, but maybe these aren't part of the Rocket Pass. We have this boost as well to match the goal explosion. But there you go. Those are the items that were showcased. I'm sure there's plenty more. I don't think it looks like they've really showcased their best stuff. The power cord goal explosion we're still yet to see, so it'll be interesting what that looks like. Now, as for the tournament rewards, it looks like they're going for a pretty cool spellbound aesthetic. They're going for like a magical wizardry aesthetic, and I think these will actually look pretty cool. The goal explosion, the spellbound goal explosion in the background looks awesome. You know, it looks like an enchanted book doing some kind of spell. I really like that. We have the 1D20 topper, which again is a magical D20. I love that. The polyhedral boost looks great. I think that's a polyhedral trail as well. And a jester decal, pretty interesting. Those wheels look alright. So yeah, I think the tournament rewards actually do have a chance of looking pretty good. Hopefully there are 2 black markets this time as well. Hopefully there's a black market decal in there somewhere. We'll just have to wait and see. There's also a small update to demolition audio. Apparently, in Season 15, it will be more obvious whether it's your teammate or an enemy that's been demoed just by the audio cue. So, depending on if your teammate's been demoed or the enemy's been demoed, it will have a slightly different audio cue, which I guess is a pretty nice quality of life update. So yeah, there you go. That is everything coming in Season 15 of Rocket League that we know so far. Let me know your thoughts, and do you like the punk rock theme? What do you think of the new map? I think they added some interesting elements to Salty Shores, but overall they pretty much just added grass and called it a day. I think it would be nice to finally see a brand new map in Rocket League rather than a reskin, but maybe we'll have to wait for that. But as for the small quality of life update, maybe they are a sign that we have some better things to come that aren't just items in the item shop. Anyway, stay tuned for more updates on Season 15, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.